St. Matthew and also the Diocese of Good Shepherd. So without much ado, because we are over 10 minutes already, and before Mother Jetty would give us the opening prayer, I would like to focus each and every one of you why we are here. In Tagalog, bakit nandito tayo? So, that question can be answered along the way. When we have the presentation of Father Rene. But now we are glad that all of you are here, and we wish to know more about you in the days and months to come, because we are going to have regular activities here at St. Matthew Church, which is an ecumenical church. That's why we are proud to introduce, whenever we are with our spouses, that we used to be Roman Catholic clergy, but now we are Romantic Catholic clergy. Especially Father.
Roman no.
So Mother Jetty, it's your turn.
Thank you. Good afternoon all.
Good afternoon.
My name is Jetty, Mother Jetty, and Bishop St. Matthew too. And also with Bishop Arturo and the Diocese of the Good Shepherd. We're going to pray together for our meeting and our justice that is very necessary. God of boundless mercy and fierce justice, you who see the wounds of the world and weep with us, you who steer hearts toward healing and hands toward action, we come before you, humbled and hopeful. Break open our comfort where silence has settled over suffering, where walls have risen between neighbor and stranger, where fear has hardened into indifference. Pour out your spirit of compassion, that we may listen with tenderness, speak with courage, and walk with those whose burdens cry out for justice. Teach us to build bridges between races, creeds, languages, and lands. Let our words be mortar, our prayer be planks, our deeds be the steady steps of reconciliation. May we be bold in truth, gentle in love, and tireless in the work of peace. Bless every effort that seeks dignity for the oppressed, safety for the vulnerable, and belongings for the forgotten. In the name of the one who crossed every difference, Jesus, our bridge and our bond, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Now we're going to listen to the introduction by Bishop Arturo about our theme. Remember the invitation we sent out? The theme was stated there, becoming humane and etc. You will introduce it to us.
Good afternoon po sa inyo lahat. Good afternoon everybody. Our theme that we chose in the Interaction Faith for Social Justice is Becoming Humane, Building Bridges, inspired by the encyclical of Pope Francis, Fratelli Tutti. And so we gathered together to think of the relevance of why we're here. And aside from us, other people are doing their movement and reflection. And they were pondering on the mission that is entrusted to all of us. As an interfaith action on social justice, we come from different cultures. Even though the majority are Filipinos, we came from different parts of the Philippines. Even though we're all U.S. citizens, we came from different traditions and we came from different orientation. But we share one profound conviction, which is our humanity, who we are. And so it means that we as human individuals, our humanity is not complete until we come together and share. As the old saying goes, it's a little bit sexist, says, no man is an island. And so all of us, when you look into Webster Dictionary and you look at the word person, it says it's a network of relationship. So we are that network of relationship. So I'd like to invite you today as we reflect on the theme in this workshop, educational workshop. The theme is Becoming Humane, Building Bridges. To look into, first and foremost, our humanity, who we are. Remember the Pope who changed his name to Leo the 14th? Because we are under another industrial revolution. What is our industrial revolution? This. Depersonalizing human being. No? Everybody's. And everybody's on their own. So we are invited to live and reflect and see what's happening around us. Because the greatest fear of those who have power is when they see a people united. And so it has been the modus operandi, since 2016 until now, second term, to divide, polarize a world and our sense of belonging as a single human family. They will divide that. And so we are called to recover that humanity. What is our humanity? Our humanity is me, in relationship with others. In Latin America, when we speak about, we don't speak of individual rights. We speak about the rights of the indigenous people. We speak about the rights of the farmers. We speak about the rights of, anong tawag sa mga bida? Widow. The collective rights of the widows whose husbands were killed in the internal war conflict in the country. So they join together and they bond together. And so our challenge is, first, according to Fratelli Tutti, recover our humanity, become human again. And what is that? Related to others. We are related to others. First, as we try to see in our being an individual, the value that we should be focusing in is kindness. Kindness, and we choose compassion as the basis of our relationship and our policies. The second thing is, we are invited to build bridges from isolation, because each of us on our own, to encounter. That is the strength of that letter, Fratelli Tutti. So he says there, if becoming human speaks about ourselves and transforming ourselves, so building bridges is our mission. To relate to others. That is our mission. Don't be alone. When you have problems, don't lock yourself inside your room. Go out and meet your compadres, comadres, and meet everybody else. Why? Because they will not necessarily solve your problem, but they will make you feel supported, and you can continue. And so that is the next thing we should be considering in our group study, in our workshop. How do we build bridges in this situation? And so as a prophetic community, we build network. If you see the Filipinos here, and each of you, you are a series of network. You are not alone. Everybody represents something bigger than himself, herself. Okay? The third is, an interfaith mission of human solidarity, which is our purpose in the IASJ. It's not merely holding meetings, it's not merely making statements, it is embodying the very compassion we preach. Our mission is to work together, side by side, so that the world may see what Humane looks like in action. Remember our name? Interfaith Action for Social Justice. So, when we do things together, they will see our humanity. That is what it means to be a human individual. Though we are the moral voice, because this is a faith-based organization, we are a moral voice to speak on behalf of those who are voiceless, defend the dignity of immigrants and refugees. The National Universal Church chose the Jubilee year with the theme, Pilgrims of Hope. So each of us are precisely like that. And we have to confront racism and discrimination, not because of politics, but because of what we believe in, and promote fair housing, fair wages, and fair treatment for all. So the next thing is our objective, living fratelli tutti today. So we will see that in our workshop, and we will come to conclude what do we really need to do. And I ask you to look into three things: foster a culture of encounter, promote concrete acts of solidarity, join the AISJ if you're not yet a member, and to promote, to witness to that hope in whatever it is that we are doing. And so in the end, we become human together. So we find meaning of ourselves together. It's good to have an idea of what's happening, but I can only do as much. In the workshop of Kelly, when they were building the citizenship program in the in the county of Orange, they said, each of us are drops of water, but together we can be a tidal wave. So, and we can make that change happen in this county. And so our way is interfaith action, and it goes more than promoting social justice. It reveals to us God's dream for humanity, a single human family in peace, dignity, and mutual respect. And so let me quote Fratelli Tutti to end. Each of us can learn something from others. None of us is useless, and no one is expendable. We are all necessary for the common good. So this is the heart of our mission. To become humane is to allow the love of God and the light of the divine to humanize us, to build bridges, extend that love outward until it becomes a foundation of justice and peace. So today we begin this reflection workshop, educational workshop in collaboration, and I thank everybody who brought their grains of sand and ourselves, because this is a sacred work, to see the human face in everybody, to speak for those who are silent, to act courage and compassion, and to build together the bridges that makes us one human family. And so I welcome all of you, and I thank you for being here. You will have to excuse me because today is Saturday. There's quinceañeras and weddings. So after this, I'll give them pinto out.
Your excuse, Father Bishop. Thank you very much for coming, giving us the introduction. It gives us the idea of why we are here, and more is coming when Father Rene will introduce us to the main presentation of this gathering. But before that, I know that later on, Claudie will be rendering us a musical presentation. I don't know what it will be, but right now we can have community singing of the song that I gave you. This is just an adaptation with new words of the song that we all know, Bayan Ko. Ang bayan kong Pilipinas, ugat ng buhaya at pura, ang budget na sa kanilang palad, naglaho na parang ulan, at sa kasakiman nila, tayo ay binabahala. Bayan ko, biniyak ka, nasa iya. Bilyon man may kayang lumipad, inurakot lang nagbumayan, bayad sa lahat nasasalungan, kaya ngayon sila'y nakalabas. Pilipinas kong pinuputya, nakaupo na puro salita, aking adika, sa korupsyon makalaya. Refrain. Bilyon man may layang lumipad, inurakot lang at bumayak, bayad na lahat ng salungat, kaya ngayon sila'y nakalabas. Pilipinas kong pinuputya, nakaupo na puro salita, aking atika, sa korupsyon makalaya. That's a good community song, and those of you who do not understand Filipino, I suggest you open Google. That's the best way to know the translation, especially God is here. I'm glad. Is this your first time to join us?
Yes.
See, last Sunday I was trying to invite her, but she told me I was not really listening. She already said yes when I invited you. So, I did not hear that, but now, when you came, I saw you, I was surprised a bit. But thank you for coming, Doris, and thank you for all of you who are here. And now we are going to have the presentation of Father Rene DeGuzman. He used to be the social action director of the Diocese of Cabanatuan, and he migrated here in America also.
When he was still born.
Yes, you hear that. Anyway, we are glad, Brother Rene, that in the name of our newly formed organization, the Integrated Action for Social Justice, and being the education officer of this very young organization, you accepted that you're going to take care of this important education topic that will give us more inspiration to go on and fulfill what we have started. Likewise, we would like to invite all of you to constantly read through the emails that we'll be sending, because we are going to have more of this event. But later on, before this event, and I'm going to announce the next activity That will be December. Father Rene?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
You will see we are just from generation to generation and so on. The struggle, social political struggle, it's from the generations before us, and we are just passing it on. That's why we are different generations here. We have the Gen Z, those who were born 1997 to 2005. Yeah, those are with the Generation Z. I am in the Generation O, original.
OG.
Actually, I like it. I'm sure most of us here are of baby boomers. That's from those born 1946 to 1964. Yeah. And we are still babies. Bishop Arturo mentioned the word independence, and it's so clear that we don't stop at being independent only. We don't just stop from having independence. Once we have it, we are looking deeply into interdependence, because we are connected in the paths we have chosen to follow. I distributed before, while Bishop Berghe was speaking, this, you know what this is? Painting of Michelangelo around 1500s, so many centuries ago. So vivid of God's connection to man. Humanity is already there, or has been there with God. The existence of God is always tied up with human existence or with humanity. We cannot have a good sense of humanity without the wisdom from God. This is just the part of it it shows the connection or the connection about to happen. In my Tagalog culture, maybe in the other cultures of the Philippines, we used to teach those big babies who could understand already, align, then they would do that, align. This painting of Michelangelo, the creation of Adam, and the finger of God almost touching or about to touch the finger of Adam, that is what we will say, to be aligned, to put in order. Exactly what the historic creation is telling us about. We are created to multiply the works of God, to make His works good for humanity. Do you remember what happened almost half a year ago, this year, that stunned the world? That the whole world became sad, but then right away that morning became joy and hope. The death of Pope Francis. It's not just seas of humanity that mourn, that went to the Vatican to see him lying. And it's actually not even a vast sea or seas of humanity. It's an ocean of humanity. Why? That morning and then instantly became liberational, illuminating for the whole world. Because Pope Francis, I always make a mistake of saying Saint Francis. He would be saint. Because he has really touched not just the Catholics, not just the Christians, but all those with good principles. All those of other faiths that believe in humanity. In 2023, if you have seen some footages of it, the International World Youth Day, every 4 years, the Pope would show up with the youth of the world. The next one will be 2027. That World Youth Day of the Youth Memorandum World with Pope Francis, that gave those youth a wonderful inspiration in their life. To be not just human, but humane. Before that, April 2025, April 21, when he passed away, 4.5 years back. That was what event happened that affected the whole world. Pandemic. Started 2019, then 2020, it became reached the highest point. I also had some friends and relatives who passed away because of the pandemic. And some of us here will remember that relatives also. Friends, people we know, who got stricken also by that deadly pandemic. That was when Pope Francis wrote his encyclical Fratelli Tutti. It's a kind of love letter to the whole world. We became all in it together. That's his calling. Fratelli Tutti, that is of course in Latin. In English it means brothers all. They just shorten it, but it actually refers to brothers and sisters together. Probably because, the Pope being a man, because a man, you will say, is always a few words compared to a woman who has more words. That's why it's just called Fratelli Tutti. Because he understood that it would be taken by everybody as referring to all brothers and sisters. When I was a priest in the Philippines, we had a song in the seminary. Everyone a brother, everyone a brother, everyone a brother in the Lord. Long live our life together here. It runs like that. When I was a priest, in my meetings or workshops, I had those attending sing it all together. But now it's everyone a brother, everyone a sister, everyone a sister in the Lord. That is how we should be, always aware, always conscious of the others. As Bishop Arturo mentioned, in the interfaith action for social justice, our educational trust is about becoming humane. Becoming humane, that's what our flyer says it, becoming humane, building bridges, which could be interpreted as connecting paths, building bridges or connecting paths or pathways. We are of different walks of life, we are taking different paths, but still we have to converge somewhere at some points in our life. I put it in different colors because that's what humanity is. We have different colors. The question we ask each other is, where are you coming from? That's a good question now. When somebody speaks differently, you have in your mind, where is she coming from? Which means we are trying to understand. And where are you going to? Why are we here together? Where are we going to? Once you have that goal or know where you are going to, the question will be, who would you be with? Of course, we always have our own families with us. It's a wonderful thing that Pope Francis, by his encyclical Fratelli Tutti, has left us that legacy, and then pass forward to the first American Pope. We are unfortunate. It has to be that significant to us. The first American Pope, Pope Leo XIV, happens to be an American. And whatever good he speaks of, we can connect so well with it. I would just present to you, I could just, so you could read it. There it is. The 4 messages of Fratelli Tutti. Bishop Berghe already kind of gave a summary of it. The 4 messages, first, universal solidarity. Not just fraternity, universal solidarity, because it's brothers and sisters all. And social friendship. Pope Francis has a vision of a global community built on love, friendship, and solidarity. A shared humanity, regardless of borders or circumstances. Second, a culture of encounter. We are called to engage actively with others, even foreigners, to break down barriers and overcome culture of indifference. Because we are multicultural here in America. It's a very strong message to us. I mentioned that, the World Youth Day 2023, that's his message to the youth. And then, we know how the youth of the world, not just the university students here in America, not like those in Harvard or the University of California, they rallied pro-Palestinian people. They know, they understand, the youth understands so well the suffering they are undergoing because of that genocide. The indiscriminate bombings that has reached more than 50,000 deaths, 30% children and women. Not just in America, Italy, other European countries, England, Germany, they organize big rallies to support the Palestinian people. Even the woke Jewish people, especially the youth, they didn't like it. They were outspokenly against Netanyahu and the American support to him. You remember just a few days ago the ceasefire agreement? Who are the real heroes of that? The Palestinian people themselves, in their soul, and the international solidarity around them, and the United Nations, who really made sure that the two-state solution happened, and that happened. Palestine is now an independent nation. The number 3 core message, preferential love for the vulnerable. That's an old Catholic Church since Vatican II. You could always hear preferential option with and for the poor. And now it would have to be not as simple as that. It should be preferential love for the vulnerable. Because if you're not poor, it doesn't mean that you won't be done an injustice. Even though you already have some power, or even though you're in the middle class, you could still be subjected to injustices. You are still with the vulnerable. A special focus on those in greatest need, such as migrants, refugees, the poor, and the marginalized, whose dignity must be upheld. Why? There are many supporters for Ukraine and against Putin. Maybe the effect of the Tutti Fratelli message. And what matters really is the human dignity. The dignity in its one must be upheld. Number 4, dialogue and reconciliation. Advocates, we have to advocate, as Pope Francis taught us, for authentic social dialogue, and open negotiation to achieve reconciliation, emphasizing the need to listen to one another and move beyond self-centeredness. Because sometimes you could be in an organization that do charitable works, that do rallies, but still you will notice that there's still a degree of eccentricity in you. That's what wishes that self-centeredness would be overcome by us. To overcome wars, divisions, and challenges. Number 5, social and political critique. The Pope critiques the failures of globalized capitalism and nationalism and individualism. You would understand why there were people, just in the social media, you would go over that. They were so against, they had that disdain of Elon Musk because of the individualism that disregards human dignity and common good. And our president today, so we have the second Knockings Day done nationwide in about 50 states in reaction to the globalized capitalism, nationalism, and individualism. Business leaders and even those elected officials go for. Number 6, human dignity and justice. The encyclical reasserts the inherent dignity of every person, calling for rejection of death penalty and for better prison conditions and the protection of basic rights for all. Pope Francis was so keen on that, the basic rights of all. He worries about those in prison, how they are being treated. The last of the core messages of Fraternity Hope for the future. Despite the world's problems, Fraternity is ultimately a message of hope, encouraging the people to pursue grand ideals and build a more just and peaceful world together. You could always hear that from prayers. In the end, towards just and lasting peace. Amen. That's always the prayer ends of those who are in these concerns. We will have from here, that year, because we have arranged in a way to be a workshop. I will present to you a workshop. It will be an open forum. Those who would want to share some remarks or opinions. Just remember, when we talk of sense of humanity, that is what we are developing, the sense of humanity. The components are compassion and kindness, social intelligence, empathy, and respect. Okay, here. Out of your experiences and what you just recently heard, for you, what does becoming humane entail? How do you get it?
And again, human. Thank you.
What does becoming humane entail?
Yung compassion,
Okay.
yung magnanimous,
Mhm.
yung concerns for others.
Yeah. Okay.
Kindly identify yourself, and then you make your comment or
Oh yeah, anyone who wants to share,
Yeah.
please do a self-introduction.
Yeah, my name is Ed Kowako. I am a friend of Father Jetty.
Okay. Welcome, Ed. First time to attend.
Yeah, the last time I got lost. That's why
And that was
I'm
it.
so interested in this
Yeah.
live of my meetings.
he is a lawyer, but he is a good lawyer.
Yeah. Lawyer of the oppressed. Yes, Doris.
Doris Hand, and I'm a member of St. Matthew's, but I'd be very interested in if everybody be willing to share their name and getting to know people. I think that's part of being human, is getting to know the. I think it's part of being human, is getting to know the people that are in this room. And I'd love to hear everybody's name, and I won't remember them, but if you could say what area of influence you have because of what you're doing during the working hours. I'd really love to hear that.
Thank you, Doris. Who else would want to have some remark? Yes.
My name is Bobby Berghe. Being human, a lot of things. Being human for me means having a place to, having a roof under my head every day. Being human means being allowed, having the resources to eat healthy every day. Being human means feeling safe to travel or at home every day. Being human means not being intimidated based on what I believe and based on what I think. Another manifestation of being human is being able to speak out. So for me, that's being human. And I know that in this country, there is a lot of people that do not have those basic necessities. So for them, I think they are not living in a very humanly way.
Thank you, buddy. Okay. I think that would be enough. Being humane really is a concern also for our own, our families, and the others. Now, how could we be in it together? Bishop Arturo had some point on that too. How could we be in it together? In the becoming humane aspect.
I'm Mary, wife of Father Buidling. So how could we be being together? We can be, if we become aware of what's happening around the world, or in our country, in the Philippines, in the United States, when we come together to talk about it. Also listen to patrol. Just like my husband is always in the computer listening to the report in the Philippines. And also coming together to have a concrete action how to help others if we see oppression, injustices. Thank you.
Moving on.
How could we be in it together? To me, if we have concerns about issues, problems, or about humanity, then it is, I believe that that would be the point of interesting unification or being one to a group. Because I believe that united we stand, divided we fall. And it's very common to us that there is a need for unity in order that we can, level up or neutralize whatever intrusions into one's life. Or if it is a concern or an issue, then we have the power also when we are one, when we are together. That's it. Thank you.
Can I share?
Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney, for that challenging invitation, inspiring us to be one. I would like to share on something like connected to that unity. I always believe that although we talk about humanity, where is God there? God is still there because that's the purpose of God creating humanity or human beings. And also, I just want to share the quotation that I got from, I don't know if you know him, he's an American guitarist, songwriter, composer, Jim Hendrix. And at one time he said, I would like to invite you to have the power of love.
Refugees. Last year I was able to go to the Philippines and spend some time with farmers in the countryside and urban core communities. And it was really enlightening and eye-opening. Because I only been to the Philippines on like family trips before and stuff. And even though I learned about like the corrupt politicians and the different problems that like farmers and the poor face, it was really different to actually hear it from the people themselves, and also even being able to like live with them for a couple of days. Even though it's still not the same as like what they face, but Yeah, I think it's really important to learn through like direct experience and being like alongside people in the different like issues they're facing, so that we know how we can come together and create change.
Thank you, man. Are we still in the time? We still have time to watch.
Okay. What we are going to have now is just a short break for those who want coffee or puto. And what else do we have there? Pancit.